So basically, everything I was doing until just a couple of years ago was the total opposite of what you're supposed to do. Okay, great, good to know, good to know. Apparently, now I just need a time machine so I can go back and let my past self know. Hello and welcome. This week, I'm talking about 5 ways to improve your self-esteem. Why? Because how you feel about yourself matters. Self-esteem is how we think about ourselves, as well as how we value ourselves and our ability to see our worth as a human being. And it matters because when you value yourself and the contributions that you make to the world, you're going to be much more likely to treat yourself kindly and more likely to make life decisions that are in your own best long-term interests, which then serve to make you feel better about yourself, so you make even better choices, and it becomes a circle of love. So, let's talk through 5 ways to improve your self-esteem, starting with, look at your value as a person. Ask yourself, what do you like about yourself? What are you good at? What do other people like about you? And then, celebrate those things about yourself. For some of you, this might be uncomfortable work, especially if you've been living with low self-esteem for a long time. If that's the case, get support from a professional. It took me until quite recently to finally work through all of this stuff, and that only happened because I got the support I needed. Before then, I was self-medicating with food and alcohol until I quit drinking in 2018, and I was trying to suppress all of my self-esteem issues instead of actually working through them. So basically, everything I was doing until just a couple of years ago was the total opposite of what you're supposed to do. Okay, great, good to know, good to know. Apparently, now I just need a time machine so I can go back and let my past self know. And also, part of this is about choosing to go back to basics, about who you are as a person. If you do no harm to others and to yourself, and if you are kind to others and to yourself, and if you give more than you take from others and from yourself, then you're a pretty damn good person and you should be proud of yourself. Those are the 3 most fundamental things I talk about all the time in this program and also in my podcast in terms of the core things that you can do to be more satisfied with life and with yourself. And those 3 things go a very long way towards being able to genuinely value yourself as a person. If you're not currently able to say yes to all 3 things for the way you treat yourself and others, doing no harm, being kind, and giving more than you take, then rather than judging yourself harshly, you can instead see this as an opportunity. Because now you have a starting point in order to start to focus on what you need to look at to feel better about yourself and about the way that you contribute to the world around you. So next, focus on judging yourself less harshly as well as being less judgmental of others. My basic rule for life is this: as long as other people aren't doing any harm, then just let them be. You don't have to agree with everyone, and you never will, because we're all unique, and you certainly don't have to have an opinion on everything. I mean, I know this might sound a little bit off track for a conversation about self-esteem, but how you treat others goes a very long way towards influencing how you treat yourself. Plus, it will also have a direct impact on the world around you. What you put out comes back to you in the form of the type of interactions that you have with others, so let go of judgment and focus on the positives. Next, do more of what you love. You know what makes me feel good? Being creative and also helping people. So I found a way to do both of those things through Let's Talk About Mental Health, my podcast, and this show, Better Mental Health. Find what makes you happy and do it as often as you can. And if that's not often enough, then make time to do it more often. Next, let go of perfectionism, because nobody is perfect. Nobody. When we put too much pressure on ourselves to achieve, especially when we're seeking validation from other people rather than from ourselves, we set ourselves up for failure. Focus on being the very best version of yourself that you can be. Someone who is kind, who does no harm, and who gives more than they take. And to hell with what other people think. Life is far too short to be worried about opinions, which I talked about in episode 21 of the podcast. Plus, I also talked about perfectionism in episode 98, and I'll keep them all linked in the description below. And as a bonus tip, use your strengths and the things you're good at more often, as well as the things you're passionate about. And also choose to find tools and resources to help you overcome the things that you're maybe not so good at. You could find courses, books, videos, you could go to counseling or therapy. There are 1,001 different ways to improve your skills or knowledge. It's just a matter of finding what works for you. So let me know in the comments below how you're going to apply these tips to create your own better mental health. And if you made it all the way to the end of this video, then leave me a plus sign emoji, because better mental health is all about taking a little positive action every single day. Want more advice? Click here to subscribe to my channel for more weekly videos about better mental health every Wednesday. And you might also find this video helpful to watch next. And join me every Sunday for the Let's Talk About Mental Health podcast, full of even more practical advice. Thanks so much for joining me today. Take care and talk to you next time.